Initially, again, in 2014, Obama got the NATO allies to agree to spend more on NATO, and they plan on doing that. Now, Germany had fallen behind. They weren't meeting their goals, and Trump was right in calling them out on that. But he wasn't right in the way he called them out on it. I mean, doing it diplomatically, doing it in a way that doesn't alienate your allies is, I would argue, a better strategy. But Trump, I'm sure, doesn't really think too much about those strategies. So not only did Trump demand on Twitter on Thursday that countries meet the 2% level by this year, not 2024, but he also said all countries should eventually hit 4%, which is more than even the US currently spends. In fact, spending 4% of GDP on defense represents wartime levels of investment.
Now, who would that spending go to? Oh, right, defense contractors. So, and who do they donate to? Oh, right, the Republican Party. So, well, what a nice break that the defense contractors would get incredibly rich off of this. And so would the corrupt Republican, and by the way, a lot of Democratic politicians too, who take money from those defense contractors. My donors say you have to increase your military spending. Did I say donors out loud? In this case, he actually didn't say donors out loud, but we can hear it pretty clearly.
So what is the response from these allies? Look, everyone's glad that NATO hasn't been dismantled or destroyed. So I guess in that respect, in that regard, people are happy.
No, I got it. Look, when Bush was talking to Brian Williams a long time ago when he was president, he said, the trick is to keep expectations low.
Yep.
Okay, now this is how low the bar has gotten for Donald Trump. He went to a meeting with NATO and NATO did not immediately explode. Like they did not disband the alliance on the spot. And people were like, bravo, Trump. Okay, you got out of the meeting without ruining an alliance that has lasted for decades upon decades. Congratulations! That's the lowest bar in history.
Right. Now, Macron responded to calls to increase the funding by 4%, and he just denied that anyone has agreed to do that. He said allies reconfirmed what they already pledged in recent years to increase their defense spending by 2% by 2024, but he didn't mention any country committing to fresh spending following the Thursday discussion. And so,
what that means, by the way, is Trump doing the press conference going, after we talked, now they're all, going to increase their spending. And Macron saying, no, not a single country agreed to further spending after these discussions.
That's right.
Just to be clear.
And just to be clear, I mean, there are other examples when it comes to talks with other foreign leaders where Trump has completely lied about what they said they would do. So after the summit in Singapore with Kim Jong-un, Trump comes back to the United States and says that they've already sent back the remains of 200 American soldiers who fought in the Korean War. Guess what? They haven't sent back a single soldier's remains. Not a single soldier's remains. In fact, North Korean leaders or North Korean officials, I should say, were supposed to meet with American officials to discuss the logistics of returning those remains. And guess what? They didn't show up.
And that just happened. So that was a total lie. My favorite lie out of that was the parents of the fallen soldiers keep asking me to bring the bodies back. The youngest that the parents could be is 108 years old. Okay, so, but we've gotten used to a serial liar as president, and here we are. So in his version of events, which is ironically, of course, fake news, he was super tough on the Europeans and they loved it. They loved getting punched in the face, and then they immediately conceded to his demands, none of which are true, but the band marches on. Two easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.